Welcome to Ideas at Work and Beyond. Today is April 5th. Oh my God, it's April already. Wow, and it snowed today. We in April and we're dealing with snow. This is amazing, but you know what though? It's gonna snow in here today, okay? Definitely, right? Because we have a great group here. Well, let me welcome our guest, and we would like to welcome again Mr. Lena Brentis, who is running for mayor.
Thank you.
This year, and we have Honorable Mayor Jean Ericrest, former mayor, and we have our regular
Troublemaker.
Mrs. Len Tabasak, who is currently on the Common Council. She has vast of knowledge to share with us. Well, welcome everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to say that the phone is working today, so please call. The number is 792-4101, 792-4101. We want to hear from you. We want you to participate in this dialogue. We would like to know what she will be doing for the city when she is elected, and we would like to know how the city was running when Mr. Ericrest was running the city. And also, we have, put it this way, I would like to say the most vocal local representative we could have in Danbury, Mrs. Tabasak. And trust me, you will see what I'm talking about 8:30. I'm going to show you a tape. You will definitely see what I'm talking about. But anyway, Ms. Selena, I would like to start with you first.
Okay.
What would you like to say to start the show, please?
Well, first of all, I'm honored that the amount of people that went on your website and actually offered questions and want some information about some of the issues that are going on in Danbury. I think that's very important, and it's very flattering. The questions were very competent questions and very good questions, so that's quite impressive.
Thank you. You know what? Before we start, you have been awarded some...
Well, I will be receiving the award. On April 24th, I've been invited to go down to the Capitol in the old judicial branch of the court up there, and I am being awarded the Immigrant and Refugee Coalition Award. It's very similar to the American Dream Award, which the Danbury Bar Association gives out to one individual who's a naturalized citizen. But this award is a statewide award, and I was nominated for the award by our Secretary of State, Susan Bisowitz, which was quite an honor for me and quite a surprise. And so I was notified recently that I will be receiving the award. They give the award to 4 people. To an adult, to a college student, to a high school student, and a student in general. So to fit in that category with some of the people that have won that award, it's very impressive. I'm very proud and very honored and humbled, because most of the things that I do are just things that I want to do, and it's part of our community.
Oh, this is based on community
service,
okay.
Things that you've done to help assimilate people into our community who come from abroad. I've done voter registrations, I've done naturalization, I've helped people renew their green cards working directly with immigration down in Danbury. I've been on several boards, I've been on the Common Council, as you know. I was the city clerk. So all of that totals up to being recognized, but I just didn't even realize this award existed, and it's quite an honor for me.
Wow, good. And you also received another from a Danbury group here. They are supporting your candidacy?
Well, I have to wait for a response. Actually,
okay.
it's not out of Danbury. It's out of the Hartford office. It's an organization out of the Hartford office, and I just need to receive the confirmation in writing, and then I can announce as to which coalition is supporting me for the position of mayor.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. Okay, Mr. Ericrest?
Just delighted to be back here again with you, Ivan, and thanks very much for the invitation to return.
Thank you. All right, Mrs. Tabasak.
Hi, Ivan. We have a city budget. We're going to talk about that maybe a little later. We want to spend $193 million next year, and I know that you'll be very happy with the choices that we've made in that budget.
I will be very happy. Okay, let me get into let me get into the, before we get into the questions. Let's talk about the Democrat Party here in Danbury. I want to know basically, do you feel that the party is coming together to make an impact this year, this election?
Yes, I do. The one thing that we have to do within our party is communicate with everybody. Don't alienate anyone. And I think that's very important. And I've talked to a lot of people, and I work with a lot of people, and I enjoy the communication and opinions from all sides because it makes a difference in an election. And if you have everyone working together, then you have a strong grouping of people running on the ticket as we did before, which is very important. And we have some strong candidates that want to run on the top of the ticket, which is quite impressive, and they're very hardworking and dedicated and honest people. And that's important. Honesty, to me, it's very important.
You have foot soldiers to knock on every door?
Yes, we have a lot of people that have already offered. I'm amazed at the amount of people that are coming forward. Very positive. I've spoken to a lot of people within the community, or they've come to the restaurant actually, which is funny, just to ask me some questions about how I feel about certain things and how different issues, are handled. And I'm quite pleased because it's nice that people really want to know and want to know what's going on because they're ready for something new.
Now, what about the money machine?
The money machine starts this month. We'll be having lots of fundraisers, so all the money will start coming in. We needed to get organized, and that was the month of March. And at this point, all the fundraisers will be occurring. I'll have some large fundraisers from an environmentalist who's quite known business-wise, some attorneys, just some regular people in the community. It'll be very good.
I think it's important to understand that, given my role here, I believe, which is to provide some perspective, historical perspective, that it'll be 30 of the past 40 years in the city of Danbury where the governance of our city has been under Democratic rule. And when you look at the achievements, the accomplishments, the progress that's been made within the city of Danbury, you can clearly see that the vast majority of those improvements, the vast majority of the progress that's been made has been made under Democratic leadership. And I'm proud of the 12 years in which I had the honor and privilege to serve as mayor of the city of Danbury, in which I was born and have lived my whole life, in which my children are growing. And clearly it's the same feeling that I know my uncle had going back to 1967 when he was mayor for 3 terms, to Jim Dyer, to Charles Dusabella, and certainly during my time. But 30 of the past 40 years have been under Democratic leadership. So the positive things, the actual progress that the city of Danbury has made during the course of the past 40 years of our history has been made under Democratic leadership. And I think you can measure the Democratic leadership versus that of our loyal opposition and see the difference very clearly, in my view. And so I present that just from a historical perspective this evening.
But I think we also have to look at the short history. I sometimes feel, Ivan, that I am the only critic alive in the city of Danbury. I'm the only person who thinks that Mark Boughton has some shortcomings as mayor of the city of Danbury. So, I want to congratulate the Democratic Party for last year. We elected my son as a new state representative. Jason Bartlett, a Democrat, is representing Bethel and Danbury. We defeated a 24-year incumbent in the United States Congress. We have a Democratic member of Congress representing the 5th District, but the local Democratic Party is absolutely quiet about this administration. And it really puzzles me. I sometimes think that we don't have enough critics. We aren't holding his feet to the fire, but maybe you only do that every 2 years.
Let me say this. I know that I'm going to get hit for this.
Yes.
But there are 4, I attend those meetings, there are 4 Democrats that are always vocal in the common council. 4. You, Tom Sadi, what's the gentleman with the ponytail?
Paul Rotella.
Paul Rotella, and then the accountant.
Ben Chianese.
Ben Chile. That's it, guys. That's it. These are the 4 people that continue to be a voice in the common council. That's it. Now, with the Republican, Mary, not Mary Teichel, the other Mary.
Saraceno.
Yes. She's actually the only one I feel who has voted against some of the mayor's policies.
Well, actually, every 4 months, Bob Riley votes against something. So every once in a while, he has something to say. He was against the sports and entertainment complex vote. So every once in a while, he has something to say.
But Mary has been very consistent.
Yes.
She's the only one. And the problem I have with some of the Republicans,
Is that it's a rubber stamp council.
I'm not going to say that. I
Okay.
just wanted them to be much more vocal. They are not. All they do is, I make a motion to do this, I make a motion to do that, and that's it. You don't hear them criticizing anything. And then with the Democrats, it's the same thing. I mean, it's almost like they are falling asleep.
And
That's
we
it.
want to put this on
That's it.
public access television, we'll
And-
have viewers falling asleep.
And this is the reason why that we need to have the Common Council meetings to be broadcast, because you will see who's actually representing you in the Common Council.
That's true.
It must be, because, I mean, I went to the meeting
Tuesday,
Tuesday
4 hours.
from 7:30 to what, 11:30?
Yes.
I mean, it's absolutely... Okay, I say that they don't say nothing. You need to watch it this Saturday at 7 o'clock, 7:30, right? You need to watch it because they don't say nothing, but they find something to say which is somehow meaningless, those who decided to speak. But you know, so you have to look at who is representing you, because I feel that the Common Council members are not really representing you the way they should.
But
So,
I'm going to also take issue with the local Democratic Party for not roundly criticizing what's going on at City Hall.
But I think one of the problems also is some of the media. The media will not publish anything. If statements were made Tuesday night with regards to different issues on the budget, if you read the newspaper today, it did not state anything with regards to that. It basically said the budget passed for the amount of money, and that was it. It did not bring up any issues that came up, such as Lynn when she spoke. And it's important for them to publish both sides. This is not two sides. This is a community, and it's impacting the taxpayers and everyone else in the community. And so they need to start doing that and start taking into consideration what other people have to say and not just blowing them off.
yeah, so, go ahead.
It's just very different today than it was even 5 years ago. I understand that people get their news from a variety of sources today, and that has changed the way that news organizations, whether it's print, television, or radio, actually do their business. When I was in office, there was a dedicated City Hall employee,
You said that,
City Hall reporter, excuse me, a dedicated reporter to public safety, one dedicated for education, one for social services. There was a reporter who was designated to serve during the course of the legislative session in Hartford. So the people in the city of Danbury, as a result of that reporting, were able to really, if they certainly read and paid attention, were able to clearly get a good gist of what was transpiring within local government and even in state government during the course of the legislative session, what their representatives were doing on the Common Council, their state representatives, their state senator, and their mayor on a daily basis. And that has changed dramatically, and so as a result, people need to search for it, find it. That's why I'm supportive of there being cable access reporting of the
There has
meetings,
to be, because right now,
no one's going to be able to assess for themselves who's representing them, who's not, who's representing their point of view or who's not. And so how do you as a voter on election day determine who's
Who's the good
best?
guy?
Right.
You know,
But
for you.
hold on for a second. I don't want the caller to wait for too long, right?
Okay.
But
No,
I'm
go
gonna...
ahead.
Caller, you're in the air.
Ivan, it's just a little old me.
Hey, how you doing?
I just want to aggravate the mayor because he doesn't dig me. Do you know that, Lynn?
Oh,
You know, just by him hearing my voice, he's crunching his beverage. He's putting his face close to the TV right now and grumbling. I love it. Anyway,
then we
I
have
wasn't
that
worried.
in common.
you mentioned Bob Rowley. Is that the former principal of the alternate ed school?
Yes, it is.
That's my friend. Leave him alone.
No, I said every 4 months, he's right there with me
All right,
on
cool.
some
I
issue.
thought thought you were taking a shot at
Oh,
his
no,
brother's
no.
bagpiper down in Key West. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I'm aware that he's also a former United States Marine.
Right, Mr. Bob Rowley is, but his brother is a bagpiper. He performs down in Key West every night.
Huh.
Okay.
Small world. Mrs. Brandis, I still don't understand. What are you going to do any differently than Mayor Boughton? You're not specific.
Well, I plan on...
Okay.
I'll call you later. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
I do plan on being specific. That's one of the reasons why I plan on starting my door-to-door campaign, asking people questions and going forward with it. I will get into more detail as we go along. I do have some detail for you tonight. Some people, as I stated, wrote in and asked some terrific questions, general questions, specific questions, and it's very important. And I'll tell you, one of the questions that was asked that I thought was very important was to improve the quality of life in Danbury. And that's a very important issue because Danbury has changed dramatically. And I like Danbury the way it was when I was a young girl growing up in Danbury. It was a clean town. It was a respectful town. You knew your neighbors, you liked your neighbors, and you talked to your neighbors. It didn't matter what color they were, what race they were, what religion they were, but they were your neighbors and they were your friends, and each person watched out for each other. I lived next door to an Arabic family. They were always watching out for me. I was a Portuguese little girl, and it didn't make a difference, and that's not happening in the city of Danbury. People don't even communicate with each other anymore. They are afraid of each other. And I think that we need cleaner streets. I need beautification effects on downtown. Downtown is terrible. It does not look nice. I mean, why would someone want to go downtown? If you go down to the town, say Ridgefield or Bethel, there are quaint little main streets that you can walk down with all types of shopping centers. And that's what you need back downtown, and that's what you want to bring downtown.
That's why we're overpaying Wayne Shepherd to make that happen.
And also one thing that's very important, I know that Mayor Boughton has brought more police officers on specific days downtown with regards to a lot of the issues that are going downtown. Perfect example is what happened at the ice skating rink the other day. But we really do need the police officers as we used to have them before. The bicycle cops, we don't have enough police in this city.
It's going to get worse because,
Yes, it
because
is.
the dorm, the
It's
new
gonna
dorm, right, is going to bring more problem for the city.
Yes, yes it is. And that is critical, especially when you have so many police officers leaving the city of Danbury. And that's not a positive thing. You have to work together with the police department, not cause animosity between the police department and our municipality, because we are supposed to work in conjunction, not against each other. And that's a critical point. And we can just do so much downtown and impact so many people. And the overcrowdedness. We cannot handle any more of this overcrowdedness. You cannot move in this city. Something has to be done with the traffic.
What will you do with the overcrowdedness in Danbury? Because they there now. How would you move them out?
Well, one of the problems is you need to sit down and actually communicate with the state and see if you can work on specific programs, improving our rail system, improving our bus system we have in Danbury, have them travel further if we can obtain money so that people are not driving their cars on the roads. Just whatever you can to cut down.
But you also know that most of the problems right now with the overcrowdedness is that you have the landlords who are renting to one person, and then you got their whole families, you know, like family there. Like you have one unit with like 5 or 6 people living. What will you do? Because right now there is nothing, well, see, I guess the units are out there trying to enforce, you know, that ordinance. But what will you do to really move that forward, you know, aggressively? Because that will stop the traffic. Because if you really, what is it, cite the
landlord.
Right, the landlords, because they should be responsible for their own property.
You do have to make them accountable. They should know what is going on in their property. They should go down there, check on their property. As myself and my husband, we have 2 rental properties that we have. Thank God that's all I have because I cannot handle anymore. And we go down there almost every day or every other day. You keep an eye on what's going on, and you know, you have leases, you have agreements. People have to sign it. If you see that someone is doing something wrong, if you go there at nighttime, later at night, and you show up there, and you see 15 cars in the driveway, well, then there's something wrong.
Be vigilant.
And you have to check up on what is going on in that apartment. Because there are these people that are actually renting these apartments, and they're not necessarily living there, but they are renting out rooms, and that's not acceptable.
Okay, we will be back. We're going to take a break. But what's going to happen is this. You will see the news. After the news, I will show you a tape with the infamous Len Tabersack. Based on that tape, we're going to have a a heated discussion about the budget in the city of Danbury. Thank you.